The Earth's atmosphere is a vast, invisible ocean, stretching far above our heads, swirling with currents and eddies that we rarely notice but always feel. It is a living, breathing system, constantly in motion, shaping the world below in ways both subtle and dramatic. This unseen ocean shapes our lives in profound ways, influencing everything from the clothes we wear to the food we eat, and even the moods we carry through our days. Whether we realize it or not, the atmosphere is the silent architect of our routines and traditions. In January 2026, Europe finds itself dramatically divided by weather. A deep freeze grips the north, while the south basks in spring-like warmth. It's as if the continent has been split in two, each half living in a different season, separated not by distance, but by the invisible hand of the atmosphere. In Stockholm, Sweden, the air is sharp and biting. The sun barely rises above the horizon, casting a pale light over a city blanketed in white. Temperatures have plunged to a bone-chilling -20 degrees Celsius, turning the city into a frozen landscape where every breath is visible in the frigid air. Life adapts to these harsh conditions. People move briskly, bundled in thick coats, scarves, and hats, their faces barely visible. The city is hushed, the usual sounds muffled by snow, broken only by the crunch of boots and the laughter of children playing in the drifts. Even the traffic seems to slow, as if the cold demands a quieter pace. Meanwhile in Rome, the scene could not be more different. The air is mild and gentle, with people relaxing at outdoor cafes, sipping coffee, and enjoying the sun. The temperature is a pleasant 15 degrees Celsius, inviting locals and tourists alike to stroll through the city's ancient streets in light jackets or even short sleeves. Fountains splash in sunlit piazzas, their waters sparkling in the light. Green palms and blooming flowers stand in stark contrast to the snowbound north, a reminder of the Mediterranean's enduring warmth. Here, winter feels more like an early spring, and life flows at a leisurely, joyful pace. How can one continent experience such extremes at the very same time? What invisible forces draw this sharp line between winter and spring, between frost and flowers? The answer lies in the complex dance of our planet's weather systems. Vast air masses, powerful winds, and shifting currents move across the continent, carrying cold from the Arctic and warmth from the south. These invisible rivers of air are constantly in motion, colliding and mingling, shaping the weather we experience each day. Geography plays a crucial role as well. Mountains, seas, and valleys act as barriers and channels, guiding the flow of air and amplifying the contrasts. The Alps, for example, can trap cold air in the north while blocking it from reaching the sunny south, intensifying the divide. To truly understand this divide, we must look up, into the atmosphere, where invisible currents and powerful forces dictate our daily lives. High above, meteorologists track these patterns using satellites and balloons to unravel the mysteries of the weather machine. This is the heart of the weather machine that governs our world, a system so vast and intricate that even small changes can ripple across continents, creating the dramatic contrasts we see today. The story of Europe's split is a story of air in motion, of boundaries drawn not by people, but by nature itself. It is a reminder of the power and beauty of our planet's ever-changing atmosphere. Let's explore how these forces create two worlds on one continent, shaping the lives, cultures, and landscapes of millions. The journey begins with the cold, gripping Scandinavia, where winter's icy embrace sets the stage for this remarkable continental divide. In northern Europe, winter's grip is unyielding. The landscape transforms into a world of white, where snow blankets the forests and the sun barely rises above the horizon. Days are short, and the cold is relentless, shaping every aspect of life in this region. Norway, Sweden, and Finland face a significant cold snap, with temperatures plunging to -30 degrees Celsius in remote areas. In these isolated villages, the cold is not just a number, it's a daily challenge. People bundle up in layers, and every breath forms a cloud in the frigid air. The Baltic Sea begins to freeze, its surface turning to ice as the mercury drops. Sea smoke, a ghostly mist, rises over Helsinki's harbor, signaling the meeting of icy air and slightly warmer water. The city's waterfront becomes a frozen tableau, beautiful yet forbidding. Transport falters, train tracks crack under the strain of the cold, and engines struggle to start in the morning. Yet, despite these obstacles, locals are prepared. Snow tires, heated garages, and winter routines keep the region moving, even when nature seems determined to stop it. Homes are insulated with thick walls and triple-glazed windows, designed to keep the warmth in and the cold out. People walk briskly through snowy streets, their breath visible in the air, as daily life continues, adapted to the harsh climate. Children play in the snow, and markets bustle, proving that life doesn't pause for winter. In the wild, reindeer dig tirelessly for lichen beneath the snow, their survival instincts honed over centuries. Only the hardiest birds remain, fluffed up against the chill, clinging to snow-laden branches as they search for food. Trees stand dormant, their branches heavy with snow, conserving energy until the first signs of spring. The forests are silent, save for the occasional creak of ice or the distant call of a bird. This isn't just cold weather, it's Arctic air, drier and denser than what you'd find in London or Paris. The wind bites harder, and the snow lingers longer, creating a climate that is both beautiful and brutal. This air mass has traveled far, sweeping down from the Arctic wilderness. It carries with it the signature of the far north, pure, cold, and unyielding, transforming Scandinavia into a frozen realm. To understand why Scandinavia is frozen, we must trace the journey of this immense river of cold. It's a story written in the winds, in the shifting patterns of air that move across continents. The story begins in the Arctic itself, where endless ice and snow create the coldest air on Earth. From here, the chill descends, shaping the lives and landscapes of Scandinavia each winter. The Arctic, surrounding the North Pole, is a realm of ice and perpetual winter darkness. Here, the sun barely rises and the land loses heat to space, creating a dome of cold, dense air. This Arctic air mass acts like a refrigerator, but it doesn't stay put. High pressure pushes the frigid air south, much like water spreading across a table. As it moves, it retains its bitter cold, displacing milder air in its path. When it arrives in Scandinavia, temperatures plummet and the air turns dry and clear. This is the Arctic's breath, sweeping over the land. But why has it surged so far south this January? The answer lies high above, with the polar vortex and the jet stream. High above the Earth, in the thin, icy reaches of the stratosphere, a colossal force is at work. This is the polar vortex, a swirling, spinning top of frigid air, encircled by some of the planet's most powerful winds, invisible to the naked eye, yet immense in its influence. The vortex acts as a guardian, keeping the coldest air locked tightly around the North Pole. Under normal conditions, this spinning fortress traps Arctic air at the pole, forming a stable, circular barrier. But the atmosphere is a living, breathing system, and sometimes the vortex weakens, wobbles, and loses its grip. When this happens, it's as if the fence holding back the cold snaps open. Arctic air, once contained, spills southward, just like icy water sloshing from a tilted bowl, rushing into regions unprepared for its chill. This January, the polar vortex has become stretched and misshapen, sending a lobe of bone-chilling cold plunging over Scandinavia, transforming the region's weather almost overnight. This dramatic high-altitude event dislodges the Arctic dome, pushing it far to the south and locking it over northern Europe, where it lingers, bringing persistent cold. When the vortex is strong, it keeps the Arctic's chill bottled up, and Europe enjoys a milder winter. But when it weakens, as it has now, the floodgates open and the cold surges south. The polar vortex is the master switch of winter, controlling whether Arctic air escapes to grip Scandinavia and beyond, or remains locked away. Its ever-changing state determines whether Europe shivers under a deep freeze or enjoys a gentle, mild season. This year, the vortex's wobble has unleashed a true deep freeze, transforming landscapes and daily life across the north. But the story doesn't end here. The jet stream, a powerful river of air high above, now decides where this unleashed cold will travel next, shaping the fate of winter across Europe. The jet stream, a fast, high-altitude river of air, directs Europe's weather. It separates cold polar air from warmer subtropical air, shaping daily conditions. Usually, it flows straight, bringing mild Atlantic air to Europe. But now, it's buckled into a deep trough over Scandinavia and a high ridge over the Mediterranean. The trough channels Arctic air into northern Europe, trapping it there. Meanwhile, the ridge over Italy brings sinking, warming air, clear skies, and mild weather. The jet stream acts as both a door and a barrier, dividing the continent. The same pattern brings deep freeze to the north and warmth to the south. This atmospheric divide is Europe's current reality. Geography will decide how long it lasts. Geography gives Italy a powerful shield: the Alps. This mountain range blocks cold Arctic air, forcing it to split and flow around, not over, the peaks. Most of the frigid air is deflected east or west, sparing Italy from the worst of the cold. The Alps act as steadfast guardians, sheltering the country. Italy's southern latitude means more sunlight, even in winter, adding to the warmth. The peninsula's shape keeps it within reach of subtropical air. Together, mountains and latitude give Italy a head start against winter's chill. The Mediterranean Sea is Italy's natural radiator. It stores summer heat and releases it in winter, warming the air above. Coastal regions benefit most, with mild, moist air moderating the climate. Even when cold air sneaks past the Alps, the sea softens its impact. Like a cup of tea that stays warm, the Mediterranean keeps Italy's winters gentle. Cities like Naples and Palermo rarely see harsh frosts. The sea's warmth and humidity create a softer, more temperate climate. The Mediterranean is Italy's lifeblood in winter. Winter brings the sharpest temperature contrasts on Earth. The polar regions freeze in darkness, while the tropics stay warm, creating a steep temperature gradient. This fuels a powerful, wavy jet stream, prone to blocking patterns and extremes. In summer, the gradient weakens, the jet stream retreats, and Europe's weather settles. Winter is a season of atmospheric conflict, cold from the pole battle's southern warmth. The jet stream is the front line, shifting the balance daily. This year's frozen north and balmy south are classic winter dynamics. It's a dramatic but natural feature of our planet's seasonal cycle. The physics of heat and air drive this ongoing struggle. Extreme weather tempts us to blame climate change, but it's vital to distinguish weather from climate. Weather is day-to-day, climate is the long-term pattern. Blocking patterns like this have always occurred in Europe's history. These events are natural, driven by the polar vortex, jet stream, and ocean cycles. Still, scientists study how a warming planet might influence these patterns. The warm Arctic cold continents hypothesis suggests a weaker, wavier jet stream could become more common. While this January's weather is a display of natural dynamics, it fits into a bigger climate story. The rules of the atmosphere remain, but the board is changing. Understanding today's weather helps us prepare for our planet's future.